Dad was in the hotel business for a couple of years, and some of that time he spent in a place called Bhutan, our neighbor. And Ma, of course, made great friends with the chef, and she picked up this particular Bhutanese dish, which has obviously been adapted to her own recipe. It's been a great favorite in the family. We call it Jasha Maroo, but I think shom is something that the Bhutanese use for beef or pork. But we do this dish with chicken. So it's basically chicken, and it's like a stew. And there's this particular green chili that you get in Bhutan, but since we don't get that chili in India, Ma used capsicum instead of that to give it a special flavor. So today I'm going to share with you this delicious family recipe, which is an adaptation of a Bhutanese chicken stew. The good thing about this particular dish is that it is really simple to do. There's no marination, nothing much to prep. You just need some onions and some capsicum and a little grated ginger. That's it. And so we're just going to start cooking. Now this dish is cooked purely in butter, but since we are trying to lose weight, I'm going to be doing a combination of oil and butter. So I'm going to start with some sunflower oil. Not too much, we don't want it oily. Just maybe a couple of tablespoons of oil. Just enough to melt the onions, so to speak. The biggest secret of this dish is that you need a lot of onions. So I'm cooking right now half a chicken, and I've taken a lot of the bony pieces. So that's the quantity of onion I'm going to be using, which is say if you've got like a kilo of chicken, I would use around 300 grams of onions. These onions are going to cook on slow fire, and they're going to become melty. They don't need to brown. So when they become melty, that's when we put in the chicken. So I'm just going to cover it and let it cook for around 5 minutes or so, and then come back and do the rest. So it's been around 7 minutes or so, and the onions should have softened. Yes, they have. I'm going to put this here. They're quite soft. I am now going to put the chicken in. And I'm going to put the ginger. This is around 1 tablespoon or 1 soup spoon of grated ginger. The other thing about this dish is that it doesn't use garlic. Salt. There's the salt. So I'm not putting too much salt because I'm also going to be using a little chicken stock. I don't know, and nowadays I find that the chicken is not as chickeny as it used to be, so a little bit of stock always helps. So I'm doing around 2 heaped spoonfuls of chicken stock. This is that Knorr chicken stock. I find it really good. So if you're looking for chicken stock, Knorr is a good bet. And no, they're not paying me for advertising. They should, right? And what goes in also is a little bit of red chili powder. This is that Kashmiri mirch, so that's for color. And I'm also going to be putting in, this is 5 green chilies. As you all know, Amit and I like our food a little spicy, so you can use less chilies if you like, but the trick to this dish is the spiciness. Now just give it a stir. No water has been added. It's already smelling so good. Ginger and onions are a great combination, don't you think? And sometimes it's good to not have garlic. So now I'm going to be covering this and letting it stew for a while. After all, it is supposed to be a stew. So we shall come back and take a look at it after 5 minutes. Just remember to keep stirring it from time to time. Oh, isn't that looking lovely? Turn the pieces around so that you're sure that the flavors are all going in. What happens when you allow the onions and the chilies and the ginger to cook without water is that it all gets more squishy and mashed up. So when you finally add the water for the stew, you get a nice creamy kind of a gravy. This has now been cooking on its own without any water or anything of that sort for around 10 minutes or so. And as you can see, the onions and all are all mushy. I am now going to add some water and I'm going to add the capsicum. I've got 1 capsicum for this quantity of chicken. You don't need too much capsicum, you just need the capsicum for flavor. And don't put it in right at the start because you don't want the capsicum to get soft. So around half a cup of water. And some butter. Yeah, about 1 tablespoon. Are you getting the fragrance? This is a lovely winter dish. It goes very well with steamed rice, and you can also eat it with a nice loaf of bread. Just keep dipping your bread into that yummy stock. Now that it's come onto a boil, so I'm going to let this simmer for another 10 minutes or so till the oil and the butter sort of rises to the top and you get that lovely color. And let's go do some tweeting. It's been around another 7 minutes. I'm getting impatient. And as you can see, the oil butter has risen to the top. Chicken is cooked. The capsicum has softened a bit. I want it to remain slightly crunchy. They actually come out very juicy in this. And my chicken stew is done. Nice hot spicy chicken stew for a winter evening. It's actually quite cold now in Mumbai. It's been going down to 24, 23 degrees. Ooh, fur coats are needed. This is my Jasha something, and we are going to be tasting it. I love capsicum. Remember, it's spicy, so you don't want too much gravy. The proof of the pudding lies in the tasting. We'll of chicken, a little capsicum, perfect. It's really good. I love the fact that my mother brought this dish into our family, and you guys must try it. So it's nice and spicy because of the green chilies, of course, and the capsicum lends an amazing fragrance plus flavor, and of course the ginger adds to the spice element, and the creaminess of the melty onions. It's an amazing dish. Well, that's all for today. I hope you guys are enjoying our season 2. We have been trying to get you recipes from different parts of the world, Mediterranean notwithstanding. And if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, if you're enjoying our show, do subscribe. It's just a simple, pressing that subscribe button. And we promise to bring you lots more yummy, flavorful food, which is simple to cook.